right, so every office has them. The negative Nancy or doubting Thomas. The one that no matter how the state of the office is improved, always has something negative to say. Then there are those that no matter how helpful you are or nice anyone is to them, they'll always just snip your head off and hand it back to you on a plate. Cranky Co Worker Day is the perfect opportunity to just let it all out and maybe give yourself a break from the sunshine and coconut attitude you tend to carry around with you. So sometimes it's worth it to just stop being a nice person for a day and grumble at everyone and everything. So Cranky Co Worker Day, yes, celebrate the little dose of that freedom, this little dose of freedom. Just be cranky for today.
Okay.
Am I allowed
I like the
to be cranky on
I like the part where you said you are allowed not to be nice. And I'm looking at it from a different angle. Like, in my life right now, I'm not nice. Like, what I want is what I want. How I want to do it is how I want to do it. You know, but it's interesting. Working with people like that can be really stressful. Nothing you do makes sense.
Exactly.
And no matter how much you try to please them, it's just not working. I mean, I'm thankful that I don't have to deal with people like that.
I wonder how people actually cope with individuals that are like that, you know, bearing the fact that mental health, you have to work in a healthy environment.
Well, those are the ones that brandish the mental health word first. When anything happens, they'll tell you, what's that English that was raining? My mental health should be paramount.
but I like the fact that, you know, you need to understand, first of all, I like that clarity. You need to understand that not everybody is worth the trouble.
Exactly.
You can't please people. So for me,
not at all.
This kinds of conversation is, have you done what is important? Have I given 100% of my time? If you're still cranky, go and hug the transformer.
And solve
as
your
far
problem.
as I'm concerned, because I do not have the patience.
There's no lights in the transformer.
No.
So it's not working.
I do not have the patience for people that just all they see is just negative. They are always punching holes to see, they are not able to see the good. And I see a lot of those people around. I mean, you see someone wearing a nice dress, just pay a compliment. It's so difficult for you to tell another person that you're doing well.
Paying compliments is a problem.
I mean,
I think it comes from a big point of insecurity.
It does.
I was going to say that because it's so, if an individual who feels I don't need to say anything nice to somebody, is dealing with their own devils. So how can they have so much devil in them, or should I say devils in them, and legions of devils
Demons.
in them? Thank you, demons. Legions of demons in them, and there's no way they will see any good in another individual or another situation. There is no positives in anything they see. It's all about the negatives. I pray for healing
for them. That's the best I can do.
Absolutely. That's all we can do.
If they are not ready to heal, just walk away.
Pray for them. That is what the Bible says.
Now, so
just
I
pray.
don't hear you.
Pray.
They should pray for
and let
themselves.
it go.
I can be cranky if I want to be.
It's not going to take anything from you.
No. See, the thing is, I'm just indifferent. I don't have
you
that.
You can be indifferent and just say,
I have a lot of
may God heal you. That's all. You don't need to carry candle and burn anything down.
There's just that point you get to that you just stop caring.
Come on, like I really don't even see that.
Okay, since you two have a lot of personal experience in this area, can we move on? Thank you.
Move on.
Yes. Okay, so the story that caught my attention today is on NAFDAC, that's the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, as they shot 27 water companies over non-compliance with rules and regulations on quality assurance. The DG Mojisola Adeyeye said the action was part of the agency's effort towards sustaining good hygiene in the packaged water industry. And I think this is very important and maybe commendable as well. Important for me because beyond this sachet water and water producing people, I know we've always complained about how quality is not just it for us in this country.
Standards, yeah.
I know people who want to take their business to the next level and understand that they need to get NAFDAC registration, and you see the effort they put into ensuring things are done properly, whatever the rule says they go by it. But once they get the approval, they don't care anymore. It's just not their business. I think we had that conversation on this show. I know I wasn't on set, but I had that conversation about compliance and the standard of production in this country.
It's actually tough.
You know, and we need to begin to control ourselves beyond NAFDAC.
So I think again, okay, so for us in the farm, you know, we produce palm oil. So the requirements for us to be able to finalize and get our NAFDAC numbers out is for us to have all our processing equipment should be fully stainless steel. And manufacturing stainless steel is quite expensive, right? So what we've done is, for the ones that are not absolutely necessary, maybe like the boilers and all of those things, for now, we're using the normal, what's it called, iron. But for the ones that are where it will get to that purification level and all of that, all those ones are now stainless steel. So we're doing it in phases. So with time, we're able to now completely change all the equipment to stainless steel. Then we'll now invite NAFDAC to come to the factory to look at the equipment and then issue us. I mean, when we're doing Gary, we actually did all stainless steel, so we're able to get that. But for the palm oil, it's a bit expensive, you know. So the cost again for this thing. So where I'm driving at is, instead of having pockets of companies, bottled water companies, why can't we have some level of collaborations and partnerships where there is a company that has like a body, and you just go with your brand label and all of that. I remember Lasena Water used to do something like that, where when they were hoping to start their water production, they didn't heat the water. When they dug for water, they didn't find the clean water. So while they were waiting for them to heat that water table, they actually went into production of bottles. So they were manufacturing bottles for different water bottling companies. So imagine if we have those level of collaborations. I mean,
that's
possible
a good
because
idea.
It's cheaper.
Yeah,
because if you leave it on one company alone,
the burden is high. But this is different.
So it's like one company
this is a case
having
of
different labels, but the quality of the water you are sure
is
of
different.
Exactly.
This is, they have gotten the NAFDAC approval, meaning they have gone through that compliance.
That's what I'm telling you.
And it's standard. So maintaining it is where the problem comes.
And that's what it's the same thing me and you are saying.
So
because it takes a lot of cost
to maintain it.
Yes, it's high. Anything manufacturing
at the end of the day, you are making excuses for them, really. Because
I'm not making excuses.
You are not supposed to jeopardize anybody's health because you're supposed to be in business. So if you did everything possible to ensure that you got it, I mean, you're talking of stainless steel now and everything. I don't think that you'll be able to spend that kind of money in getting those equipment, and at the end of the day, you don't maintain it in the way it's supposed to be, because you are also spoiling the equipment you've gotten for yourself. So this is our culture here when it comes to standard.
Well, we don't have maintenance culture.
Produce now. I remember what we were talking about is that I think what somebody you brought in who you're commending their packaging. She sells oil and fragrances. Can you remember her? And you're talking about how her package is just amazing. And when you look at the product, you can never say this is a Nigerian product. And they've been maintaining it for over how many years? How many brands in Nigeria maintain that standard? We don't have maintenance culture. If that's where you're going.
I was just trying to find a solution, but you know what? We ran out of time. It's your story.
We've talked, like Elsie has, kind of introduced us into what we have discussed before on the show. And we've also talked about the fact that drug abuse in Nigeria currently is on the increase, and everybody should, be aware of what is currently going on, and also sensitize the youth on what not to do in terms of drug abuse. So with that, I call to mind the headline that says drug addiction, NDLEA will establish sex standard rehab centers across Nigeria. And this is by Buba Marwa, the retired Brigadier General Buba Marwa. And he says the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has said it will establish 6 standard rehabilitation centers, 1 in each geopolitical zone in Nigeria. This is part of efforts to treat the high number of persons suffering from drug abuse in the country, or drug addiction in the country. And this, I totally will commend the retired general for this, because I think every individual who has a problem with drug has a place to go to and seek solution to their problem.
But they've not beat it. They say they will.
They will, yes, but I said it's applaudable.
It is applaudable. A lot of things they say is applaudable now. Like 24 hours life is applaudable.
No, I trust, let me put it this way. I think to an extent I would rely on the word of Buba Marwa, yes.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
Moving on. My story is actually quite interesting. 12 billion Nigerian children are afraid of attending schools. That's this coming from the president through his chief of staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambiri. He said this while they were launching some program around, what's it called now? Safe school programming for children in Abuja. It says the incessant attacks on the country's education system, such as kidnapping, abduction of pupils, students, increased activities of insurgency and general insecurity in our schools have exacerbated many factors responsible for the growing numbers of out-of-school children. So he said between 2019 and between December 21st of December 2019 and September 2021, about 1,462 children have been abducted. This is according to SB Morgan, and they are saying that over 12 million children are currently traumatized after going through school, afraid of going to school. That's according to this report, and especially the girl child. So it's a sad situation. Again, it's saying that even for those that have been abducted and released, they are still afraid to go back to schools. You know, what do you expect? So this security challenge in our country, if not for anything, this is part of the reason I'm so disappointed in the president, because part of the campaign, you know, I was part of the people that pushed and was hoping, because you remember the Bring Back Our Girls abduction just happened, the Chibok girls abduction just happened when President Jonathan, you know, so we were part of the people pushing, hoping that, oh, with the military background that President Buhari had as a general, he would have been the best candidate. It was almost like for us in our head, it was a square peg in a square hole for him to solve the security challenges. But insecurity has grown in leaps and bounds since 2015 up until date. So it's really sad to hear this. I mean, we already have a bad educational system, and now adding insecurity to it, and people saying, you know what, I am not even going back to school. Then where are we going to head? Where are we heading to as a country in terms of development that we're hoping to see? Because without quality education, we can't really see some of this development that we're praying for. What kind of leaders are we supposed to be churning out in the next 10 to 30 years?
I like and hate when Nigeria rouse you up like this. But sorry, dear.
Sad. That's why I don't like talking too much. You know what? We want to learn how to collect base well. We'll be right back.